marinating on this video concept for a while, and this post here is the straw that broke the camel's back. It shows women going into this very large mold. They're trying to step in, trying to see if they fit that mold. This was a beauty pageant in America that happened in the 1900s-ish. Really wild to me how far back beauty standards go, and it always just seems to be for women. Society is constantly telling us what is beautiful, and they're changing this for us at all times. I also think back when lip injections became like this huge thing, you know, you saw Kylie Jenner, you saw a lot of celebrities start to like alter their face, and then you saw a lot of influencers doing the same. I was watching TikTok by Jaclyn Hill, and she's talking about how recently she's dissolving her lips, and she's been filling in her lips for over 7 years. What a crazy shift of events. And she even speaks on how it was just a fad.
I have dissolved my lip filler entirely. It's just so crazy that like something on your body can be a trend.
I find beauty standards and whatever we're seeing on the media to be kind of like fast fashion. It comes and it goes. Take the 1920s, right? The trend was shorter hair, and many women obviously began to follow this trend. Then we look at like the 1930s. It was that time where many women wanted to have like that very hourglass figure. And then the 1980s, the luscious hair, and of course the good old 90s. It was the very fair skin. The issue with these kinds of images is that they become ingrained. They kind of migrate into the perceptions that generations have, mother, grandmother to daughter. So much so that I recall watching like Miss Universe, and my mom would always like kind of sit on the side and she'd be like, oh my God, do you know that they are 90, 60, 90, 60, 90. A lot of my family members would alter their image. I never really questioned why. It was just something that was kind of like a part of our culture. It was kind of hushed. And it wasn't until the age of 18 that I decided I would get breast implants. I thought then that that would make me happier because that's what I would see on magazines, Victoria's Secret runways. It really shaped the way that I saw myself, like a tunnel vision in a way where it was this beauty standard or no beauty standard. You know my story. You know that I later removed my breast implant. That was the best decision of my life. And do you know who else has been crushing beauty standards? CVS, our sponsor for today's video. CVS is one of the few retailers that does not alter their images. Freaking love that. I think it's so transparent. They did not tell me I had to say that, but I want to commend them for not photoshopping models. I think it's a great step forward. I would roam the aisles of CVS for beauty and period products, and now that I'm getting older, I'm much more into wellness, sleep, fitness, my mental health. This year, they've actually challenged me on a year-long journey. Oh my gosh. I think this is fantastic. This is exactly what I needed. For me, that honestly goes beyond just my physical appearance, about being reflective. Overall, I just want to be happier. I want to be more real with myself. Journaling, taking digital detox days. These little things is what I'm incorporating, so you're welcome to follow the journey over on Instagram and on TikTok. This is one of my favorite wellness products. I literally just take 30 minutes before bed. The Z's are there. I also purchased a few other goodies like this humidifier, some snacks, and these elastic bands that have helped me a lot in my rock climbing journey. You can pretty much find anything that you need wellness related, life related at CVS. Looking for products that go beyond just beauty, but more mindfulness, fitness, wellness, overall mental health, sleep. Check out CVS and let them know I sent you. I find it really interesting, Emma Chamberlain. I recall when she started posting like all the crying selfies, and I was like, this is so odd, but so interesting. Transparency, huh? The fact that she would kind of photograph herself without any makeup on. And then I swear to you, I saw some kind of like trend that came out where girls were trying to get that look. There was a time where I stopped using beauty filters because I was really inspired by this new movement of unaltered images, and Sierra Schultz. I love that she never photographed herself any different. This was during the time where certain people were very like sculpting their faces. I think in many ways this is a huge stand for women. Take back all of that oppression and start this movement of, hey, you cannot tell me how to talk, how to dress, how to walk, what kind of jobs I can and can't do. Saw this TikTok. She has a little girl, and her little girl is oftentimes mistaken for a boy. And so she says that whenever babies dress like a boy, and so they'll say, wow, you look so strong. Look at you. You're so courageous. You're so fast. But then when it's a girl, you're so sweet and you're so tender. I think that really shapes us a lot in personal experience with rock climbing. It is a very male dominated sport. Guys just kind of go for it. And myself and other girls that I've been with, we're kind of more reserved. We're kind of like afraid to fail. Being in business school, I was a part of this professional selling program, and there was a few girls, but it was the majority were guys. And I noticed that there was always like this confidence, like almost ego to them, versus us. We tended to be like more quiet and more reserved. And I just think there's something really special in encouraging young girls to also see themselves in that way. I've always been a huge fan of going against the curb. I think it's because it's like the little fat girl in me, you know? I mentioned this on stories, but I was an overweight child. I was made fun of a lot because of it. I was oftentimes secluded because of it. Crazy because it's things that I still haven't quite healed from. I remember my very first day of 6th grade. I had just moved schools and I walked into a classroom and I was wearing a skirt. It was very hairy. It was the first time I realized that there was something wrong with me because a few of the girls in the front were whispering and I could see them pointing at my hairy legs. My dad didn't let me shave. That stuff scars you. It's so cool to see companies like Billy showcasing women in their empowering selves, being hairy, being who they are. I think we need to see more of it. Growing up, if I had just seen that hair was natural, that it wasn't odd. I don't know, I just wish I could tell my teenage self so many things. If I had just seen myself in other women, especially in my chest, for example, with my breasts, I wouldn't have gone surgery. But because I saw these Victoria's Secret models with like these big boobs and tiny little waists, I just felt like, ooh, when I got out of surgery, a few months in, I regretted the size that I got because I still felt like it wasn't good enough. Like, that's crazy to me. Sometimes I want to look at my younger self and just like hug me. We're in this time of like digital obesity, as they say, which is you can pretty much consume anything that you want at any time that you want, whenever, wherever you want. And so it makes it really hard for you to relax and to fully reflect on your own life. Well, there was a time where I was watching all these mom vlogs. I think I was like 25 at the time. And it just looks so beautiful and amazing. And I'm sure motherhood is. But I think it gave me a perspective that perhaps was a little bit skewed. I was almost like feeling pressure to have kids and like want that lifestyle, and then like pressuring Dennis like, hey, should we have kids? When in reality, if I just took a moment to turn everything off and reflect on myself, I didn't really want kids. I wasn't ready for kids, and I'm happy right now I don't have kids other than Jupiter. I've definitely had to set limits. I also find myself strangely whenever I'm on my phone for too long, not taking in deep enough breaths. Same thing goes with any kind of beauty standard or trend that we start to see online that is perceived as beautiful or sexy. We don't really have a moment to reflect within ourselves if that's something that we want to take on. I think it's toxic. It's an overload of information, which is why I really love encouraging digital detox days. I do this once a week on Sundays, and I swear to you, eventually I'm going to be going off the grid. There's so much pressure when it comes to social media. I feel it myself as a content creator who's always trying to like one up myself. Then you're always kind of looking back at the past at what did well, and then you can't like evolve. And I feel like social media is the same in that way, where you're constantly seeing this picture perfect feed. So I think we need to normalize more bodies. I absolutely love the movement when women have just had their babies and they're like, this is me. It's the most empowering thing I've ever seen. My sister did it and I just speechless, man. Normalize things like periods. Let's normalize hair. Let's normalize fluctuations in weight. Let's normalize that our bodies are going to change and that's okay. Let's normalize aging. My grandpa used to say something really cute and he was like, everyone is beautiful. The more I think about those wise words, the more I really can see beauty in everyone. There's so many times where I felt not good enough and not beautiful enough because of what I saw online and because of that comparison trap that we oftentimes fall into. A lot of people go on wellness journeys. They do it because they don't love their body. They kind of actually hate it. But if you're eating kale and lemon water and avocado and you still kind of hate your body, then it's not really doing you justice. You're kind of just continually trying to hate your body, which is where loving your body should be your number one priority. And a big theme of wellness journey is you are hot already, so start acting like it. At the end of the day, we're all just human. If you have another topic in mind that you'd like for me to talk about, let me know on my Instagram or on TikTok. I plan on doing more fun things like this, even if it's just in shorter form content. I love topics like this. I personally have them a lot within my own circle of friends. I think they're really enriching. I think they're important. And let me know if you enjoyed it. Thanks for hanging with me. I'm very hungry and I'm gonna go eat.